So yeah, so I was going to kill her. Literally, I was going to kill her. Watching her do this stuff and treat me the way she was treating me, and treat my sister, and then I was like, you know what, Tammy, you're the only one who can get through to her because my sister's a woman, right? And she came over and she uses her evilness to override everything, and as soon as she sees that a little bit of insecurity, she pounces on it, and that's what she did, and like my nephew would come over and he wasn't putting up with her shit, but she was just so the way she is, and I'm not off in the La La Land, man, thinking whatever, man. I know the way it was. So I grew up with this woman, and she used manipulation and evilness to get everything that she got in the end. And so I said, this was July 6th. I said, yeah, I came with my dad, and I took a video, and this is the video that I got of him, and I said, and I was going to kill him. And as soon as I had a great time with my dad, even though he was out for most of the time, I still had a good time with dad. I brought Back to the Future so I can watch it with him. I brought some pictures, and he didn't want to see the pictures because he I don't know what, he fucking didn't want me to, I don't know, but he was like, oh, come on, Joey, and I was like, Dad, I just want to reminisce, man, you know, and maybe he's in denial, I don't know, but I had a great time with him, and I was away from Haley, and then Haley ended up coming to the house too, and I was like, oh fuck, she made every day fucking crazy. Like, it was crazy. She would make me punch. I know she can't make me, but when you get my book and you see the shit that we put each other through, or whatever, however you want to look at it to accept it, you'll see the craziness that I dealt with. And I was just like, I'm like watching my dad die, and I'm trying to get away from this woman because I'm gonna kill her. So I said, Dad, man, this is it, man. You picked this woman's sickness my whole fucking life, and now I gotta go, man. I'm gonna miss out on you because I'm gonna kill her. And he's, Joey, please come back. I said, no, Dad, I'm fucking done. And I left. And that was it. I fucking left, and I was like, whatever, and I was just dealing with him. So then that was on the 6th, and the 7th went by, and the 8th went by, and I had a feeling I should go see my dad. I just had a feeling, my intuitive feeling. I was like, okay, well, I gotta go see. I'm like, I gotta go see my dad. So I got on the bus, and I was gonna go see my dad. And then I was like, you know what? I got off the bus to transfer on another bus, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking get out there, and Linda's gonna be a fucking douchebag, and then I'm gonna be stuck out in Brentwood Bay with nowhere to go and fucking whatever. So I'm like, no, man, I'm just gonna go to Haley's, and I'll catch the bus in the morning, first thing in the morning. So I went to Haley's, and I said, Haley, I'm going to stay here. And it was crazy shit again, and whatever. And I was like, okay, whatever, man. I'm just going to throw in some shit about the universe and trip out and fucking smoke weed and fucking just chill. So that's what I did. And then when I woke up in the morning with her, it was crazy fucking shit as soon as I opened my eyes. And I'm like it was all the time. So I'm like, holy fuck, man, I can't fucking do this. I'm out of here, Haley. I'm fucking going. I'm going to see my dad. I got to see my dad anyway. What, you gonna go? I'm like, dude, I'm going to see my dad. I was going to go last night, but I didn't want. So I just left. Right? Because she was like, keep me there. I'm like, okay, fuck this. I'm gone. So I leave, and I'll walk out. I'm walking down the road. We got a restraining order, but things are not out of hand, said whatever. So, and you should see, I got so many fucking out of hands. Every place, every fucking, it's crazy shit. So this is just one example, but I'm walking out, I'm walking up the road, and I hear, and she's coming down, she comes down this fucking one-way street, fucking the opposite way, or the opposite lane, and fucking slams on a brake, gets out, and we're a nice bright morning, and all the windows and houses in a residential area are open. She's like, you're gonna fucking do this, and fucking I'm like, Haley, man, chill out, dude. You're going to get the police called here, and I'm going to go to jail. I have to go see my dad. No, you're not going to do this. You're going to do it this way. And then I'm like, fuck this, dude. And I'm going to see my dad. I got this intuitive feeling that I got to see my dad. Something's pulling me there, right? And I'm like, I got to go see my dad, Haley. And then she's freaking out. I'm like, Haley, the police are going to come, dude. You fucking get the fuck out of here. And she won't leave me alone, so I just start running away. I'm like, fuck this, I'm running away. So she starts fucking running after me, yelling after me. So I'm like, dude, the cops are gonna come. I'm like, hey, Haley, chill out, man. Let's just fucking whatever, man. Like, you gotta stop this shit. She's like, I just want you to talk to me. I'm like, okay. And the Beacon Hill Park across the street. So I'm like, see that bench? Let's go fucking talk on that bench. Okay, let's go. So her car is parked there. So we go and we walk to Beacon Hill Park and we get to the bench and I'm like, okay, so we're talking, right? And then I look across the street. There's a paddy wagon. Pulls down fucking Simcoe or fucking down the street. And I'm like, holy fuck, Haley. And I just start walking away. I'm like, Haley, there's a cop right there, dude. I'm not going to jail, dude. I'm not going to jail, Haley. Just walk the other way. And she's like, how am I going to meet you? And she's trying to, like, still talk to me. And I'm like, and I'm just walking the opposite way. I'm like, Haley, get out of here. Get out of here, dude. Just walk the other way. So she starts walking the other way. The cop pulls straight down Douglas, goes straight down, goes in the intersection, or goes in the roundabout, turns around, comes here, and he's probably looking for us. But we're separate now, thank God. And then he turns on Douglas, and he's starting to go this way. I'm shaking in my booties, thinking, I got to get to my dad. And if this cop reads my name, he's going to know, like, that all I'm thinking is I'm going to go to jail. And I got to get to my dad. So I'm fucking walking, and the van's going down, and then he goes down, and there's a whole bunch of bushes or big trees here. This is like the petting zoo and the ducks and shit. And so I'm walking, and as soon as he turns down, I'm fucking like, boom! I beeline straight through the fucking high rises. I go straight through the high rises, over fences, and I'm like, holy fuck! And I'm running, I'm getting out of there, and then I see a bus. One fucking bus at a bus stop that I've never caught a bus before at. And I jump on this bus, okay? I go and I look, I try to see what bus it is, but I don't see. So I jump on this bus. I'm like, are you going to town? He's like, yep. So I'm just like, I don't care, man. I'm getting out of this area. So I jump on the bus and he starts going to town. And I'm like, I'm going to jump off the bus in town so I can get on the 70 and then get on the 70, take me there, and then I can walk all the way down East Saanich. Now, if I see a 70 or a 75, which takes me right to my dad's door, but I'm thinking 70, well, because there's more 70s that I can at least get to Stellies and walk down to my dad. I just want to see my dad. And I'm going to get off the bus and get on the thing, on the 70. But so I'm looking for 70s as I'm going there. And I'm on this bus, and then all of a sudden this guy gets on the bus. And he walks on the bus, and he's got a jacket on with no sleeves. He's kind of a cool guy, but my first impression of him was he was gay. And he comes up, he takes off his jacket, he says, can I make myself cozy beside you? I said, go ahead, man. So he sits beside me, and he's like talking. And we're cruising on the bus, going through town. Then we're going through town, and I'm looking for a 70 or another bus. And I said, I've got to get to Brentwood. I'm looking for a 70. And he says, oh, no, dude. This is the 30, and it turns into the 75. So I'm like, no, sweet. I know how that works, but back in the day, it used to be only the night route that did that. But now I guess it's changed, whereas the day route does that. And I'm like, sweet. This fucking bus takes me right to my dad's doorstep. So I'm like, sweet. And so we're going on the bus, and then as we're talking, get to know each other, whatever, he points out a car goes by, and he says, hey, check it out. Look at the license plate. It says 666. I'm like, oh, yeah, no shit. And then he says, hey, man, you want to hear a joke? And my dad had a job where he picked up papers from the ferry terminal, and he was always so drunk, and seriously always drunk, and I hated this job because he was always drunk, driving all night delivering papers, and I hated this job the most because I was so scared. And so anyway, he's like, yeah, man, want to hear a joke? I said, sure, man. He says, why don't you get sick at the ferry terminal, or why don't you get sick at the ferries? I said, I don't know, man. He says, because it's terminal. And I said, whoa. I'm going to see my dad right now, and I gotta get there. He's dying of terminal cancer, and the funny thing is, he's picked up his papers at the ferry terminal, and I explained the situation. He's like, oh, sorry, dude, whatever. And then we finally get to Brentwood, and as we're going through Brentwood, I see 2 fire trucks go by, and I don't think anything of it. So we go down, and we get to my dad's stop. I get off, and I'm going around the corner, and then I see my dad's truck, and as soon as I see my dad's truck, I feel this like relief, like, oh, I'm here. And then I get around the corner a little more, and I see those 2 fire trucks and 2 ambulances at my house. So I run in the fucking house I run in the house and my dad's in there and all the ambulance. So I go in there and my dad's in there and his fucking body's going out of control. And I see and they're trying to strap him in the chair to bring him down the stairs. And I look at my dad. There's a look on my dad's face, and it's the same look of fear, like he sees something that no one else sees. And when I went and saw my grandpa in the hospital, I was the last person to see my grandpa. When I walked in that room with my grandpa, he was in the same position on the hospital bed. I remember when I walked in, he was kind of like up, and he had this look. His eyes had this particular distinct look in his eyes, and he was looking like he was looking at something that I couldn't see, and it was fearful. And I always remembered that, and I could never explain it or whatever. And then when I came and saw my dad, and then he died. And then my grandpa died, and then I was with him, and I laughed, and he died. And then I went and saw him. Anyway, and he was the only body I've seen dead. And then my dad. When I walked in the house, he had that same look that my grandpa had on his fucking face. And I was like, whoa. And my dad was going crazy. And Tammy, my mom, stepmom was like, Tammy, you go with him. I'm like, fuck that. I'm going with him. So I went with him to the hospital. They said he wasn't going to live. And I went there and I was with my dad. And I was just, Dad, I love you so much. And my dad was just like, I love you, Joey. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love Tammy. And I love Linda. You know, and that's all he kept saying. And he kept on just trying to get his seatbelt off, and fucking his body was out of control. He was so weak before, but now all of a sudden he had all this energy, right? And anyway, and so we went to the hospital and got him to the front part, and that's where we said our goodbyes. And he made a few jokes, my dad did, and then we got him in the back area where we could have him to ourselves, where me and my sister were at the front of the bed, and Linda and his old boss and this lady. His boss's wife was there, all being buddy with Linda, and they were just so. I'm there with my dad, holding my dad's hand, trying to tell him my dad what he needs to tell me before he goes. And my sister kind of just doesn't know what to say or do, but I'm one-on-one with my dad, and he was just in a lot of pain, so they sedated him, gave him some stuff, and as soon as they gave him that stuff, he just kind of went and fucking fell asleep, and you could hear him sleep because he was like. You know what I mean? And his eyes, he fell asleep with his eyes open. So I shut his eyes. He was like that for about 20 minutes, 15 minutes. Then I shut his eyes. And then I looked, and it was Linda and these two people were just talking like nothing was fucking happening, talking about whatever. And it bugged me the way it was just, there was no compassion, no anything for me and my dad and my sister. I was just like, fuck this, man. I walked out because I was going to freak out. So I just left. And I was just going to walk home and fucking be out of there and say, fuck this. But I didn't. I was like, no, man, you got to be an idiot. And even though I didn't really realize that this was going to be my dad's last fucking breath, I thought maybe I'd be able to come see him again or whatever. I don't know. That's what I did with my grandpa too. I thought I'll come see you tomorrow after seeing that face. And anyway, he died, and then I went back, so I'm like, no, man, I gotta go back. So I went back, and I picked up his hand, and I was holding his hand again, and I got a picture on his phone. And this is another story, crazy shit I'll get into another time. But I got a picture of holding my dad's hand. I was holding his hand palm to palm. And then, so I just kept holding it, and then about 20 minutes later, after he was, he just, boom, woke up, and he looked up at me, and he was looking right at me. And he was looking at me, and he was like, he was on the side. He was looking at me, and then a big tear built up in his eye. And then I just seen his eyes. I just seen his soul. I felt it leave. And I was holding his palm hand to hand. And so wherever his soul went, some of it came into me and gave me what I lacked. And what he couldn't give me my whole entire life with this monster. He gave it to me, man. And setting off my story, like I told you, I spent my whole life trying to tell about this story that my intuition told me about, and he just kept saying, show me. Now all of a sudden, he's the main part of my story, and I didn't realize right away, but he died. And it was crazy. We went to the room, and he was dead. He's the second body I've ever seen. My grandpa and him, and both had that same look on their face, and so we cut 3 pieces of hair. That was my idea. I wanted his hair. Cut 3, and I was a nice guy. I cut 3 pieces, one for my stepmom and one for Tammy. Cut his hair, and then she put it all in one bag, 3 pieces, and I'm like, I'll get it. Just put it in your bag, Linda. I'll get it from your house. So she puts it in her bag and fucking, she ends up keeping all 3 pieces for herself and tells me she's going to give 1 piece to her sister and 1 piece to her mom. I said, no, those are mine. She's like, no, you must have left yours in the thing. I'm like, no, Linda, but I wasn't going to fight, right? I was like, whatever, dude. And so she kept the hair. Okay, and then before my dad died, I said, I want your phone, Dad. And, I didn't have a phone at the time because the last one I had, Haley fucking turfed it. I never got it back with all my stuff on it. Anyway, I wanted the phone, and I said, I want that phone, and I want your phone number. And so I said to Linda, I'm like, can I have the phone and can I have the phone number? And she was like, no, I'm going to keep the phone. I'm like, oh my God. And I was like, I was cool. I didn't react to it. I was like, I wanted to fucking punch her out, but I didn't. I was just like, okay, whatever, Linda. And as soon as we got home, I just walked my best friend and my hero. She pulls out the papers for the insurance fucking thing, right? She's like, oh, here, Mike and Maureen want us to get this squared away right away. I'm like, yeah, right, you do, because you've had this shit planned out from the start. So she's like, you got to sign this up. You're gonna get money. You're gonna get your own money. And I'm like, dude, fuck off. And so anyway, so whatever, we signed it, and a couple months later, we got $6,000 each, which ends up being all I needed because $6,000 meant so much to me that it did more than $750,000 that I pissed away, and she got $200,000. I don't know. She must have. I don't know what the hell, man. She didn't deserve a penny of it, and she got my whole grandpa's estate that my dad worked hard ass every day to pay that mortgage off, and she didn't pay the mortgage off. And she's before my dad was dying, she was like, oh yeah, you remember I bought you this and I bought you that, and I just went and spent $10 on those pills, and he told me that you're not supposed to have any kind of shakes with these pills and no smoothies for you. And I'm like, dude, that's bullshit. So I took the medication, went down to the pharmacy. I'm like, dude, can you drink smoothies with this medication? And he looks at it, he's like, oh yeah, no problem. But it's just her sickness didn't want him to drink these smoothies because she thought it would keep him alive. And fuck, dude, man, it's so sick, so much sickness. But anyway, so the next day, and on the last day I see my dad on the 6th, I'm like, Dad, man, he's like, don't worry, Joey, I'll always be with you. I'm like, Dad, show me, don't wait to show me, but after you go, man, show me, okay? Come back and show me that you're here. And he said, don't worry, Joey, I will. I love you. And anyway, so my dad died January 9th. And then I also want to get into a thing after that fight I told you about. Me and my dad got in when he kind of flinched. We got a fight about Linda. The next day after that, he came back, and I thought Haley was pregnant. He came back, and he gave me a kite. And I got the kite hanging on my wall. It's the only thing I got out of my old university that I lost everything because of my Haley's sickness. But he gave me a kite, and I was blown away. I was like, what the hell, a kite? Oh, okay. And I thought it was because I thought Haley was pregnant when she wasn't pregnant. It was just drugs she was on that made her nipples hard and her pussy wet. But anyway, he gave me this kite, and I thought it was because it was for my kid, and it wasn't though. It was so much more. So he gives me the kite, and then so back to what I was saying before that. It was with my stepmother and this phone. So then January, so I told my dad to come back and show me. So now Linda's just such a rose. So then I go over to her house on January 10th. I'm so sad. I'm in my house. I'm doing nothing but crying. And I'm so grateful that my dad got to see me. I was the last thing he saw when he left, and I was there, and I shouldn't have been there. Like the whole thing with my girlfriend and almost going to jail and getting there, and the guy on the bus, and it was just all destiny, man. And it was so clear to me, and so I was just so grateful that my dad opened his eyes and looked at me, and I saw him, and he saw me, and I was just, and so I was like, I was crying all day, and I knew. I've had this disability my whole life with my left side, and it's still there, but it's getting better, and it's getting better since my dad gave me whatever he gave me, because I just knew, and I was at the house, and it was really bad, like I couldn't do anything, and I was like, I just made sense of it all, and I was like, my dad did it, and my body felt so free, and I could do all this stuff, and I was like, Dad, I know you're here, I know you're in me, I know, and every single time I pet a cat. My dad loved cats, and every time I pet a cat, nothing but static, shocks, because he gave me his energy, man, and I'm fucking telling you, man, it went on forever, and just shocks. And anyway, so now it's January 10th, and I'm just like, you know what? I can't picture how how Linda is. Even though she's already got another boyfriend lined up and all hooked up and stuff, obviously she's going to deny it, but she did because she was feeding my dad drugs from this drug dealer who she's now with. Anyway, so I didn't know this, and I was trying to be compassionate like I've been my whole life, and always, no matter what, just trying to be the better person and love her. So I was like, you know what, I gotta go out there. I gotta go out there and just comfort her and be there for her. Even though she told me I couldn't have this phone, she told me, you know, I couldn't have the hair, she's just being this roach and whatever, I still had to be there for her because I couldn't imagine me being in that house all alone. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to go there. So now it's like 6 o'clock, something like 6:30, and I start walking to the bus stop. And I'm walking to the bus stop, and I'm like crying. There's people at the bus stop, and I'm crying because I'm so grateful. And I'm not going to wait at the bus stop crying with these people. So I walk behind the bus stop. There's a path that goes upwards like this. And the Victoria General Hospital is across the road right here. Victoria General Hospital is this really special spot that I was died and born again, and was like a baby in diapers, and my dad was there every day taking care of me, and I just, the love was unbelievable. So I was walking up this trail, and I was so grateful. I was like, thank you. I was saying thanks to God. I was crying. I was like, thank you so much for letting that happen the way it happened. I was, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And across the street, man, out of the sky, big fucking surge of electricity. Not like lightning, but a pure, thick, big, right across the street. Like fucking, I'm looking at that building right there. You can't see the building, but right across the street, literally across the street, up in the sky. This big electricity. And I was like, I knew it was my dad. Okay, I told him, I said, and he said he would. I was like, and whether it was my dad or it's just the universe working in favor for my story and to show whatever, and to show me that my dad loved me and was there, and he's there watching me and everything else. Like the universe works in coincidental ways, but it's not a coincidence, man. It's all happens for a reason. So anyway, my life is full of it. Anyway, so I seen it, and I was like, I knew it was my dad, and I was so grateful and happy. I left, and I was so thankful, and I was like, oh my God, Dad, I love you, thank you so much. And anyway, and that was beautiful. And then I caught the bus out to see my stepmom, and I was so grateful to be able to share this story. And she didn't want to hear it. All she was telling me was stupid stories about her cats and how cats were coming around her so much. And everyone's got their own thing, and I'm not taking away from her. But the thing is, she wasn't interested in the significance of my story, my anything. Whenever I tried to tell her about my story, she laughed at me and said, pfft. And I've always known I'm going to be in touch with Oprah. And she laughed at me, and she says, I told her, I said, oh yeah, Linda, Oprah's going to be you watch, Oprah's going to, you know, be part of my story. I forget what I said. I'm going to be in touch with Oprah about my story. And she laughed at me when my dad was sitting there in his chair. Said, Oprah doesn't want nothing to do with a fucking loser like you. That was her exact words. And I remember my dad was in his chair, and he was like, looked up at her with this fucking face that he always gave off when things weren't the way they were supposed to be. And yeah, man, she said that, and she laughed at me. I remember the day she laughed at me with ignorance, and it was so disgusting. I just wanted to smash her freaking teeth down her throat, but I didn't. I was whatever. And this is how fair it's been to me my whole life since I was a little kid. Anyway, so she said that, but so where was I? So I'm there. She didn't want to hear my story about the electricity. She's like, "Oh, there's a lot of shooting stars, and there's a lot of shooting stars and there was at this time. It was just whatever in the orbit. There was just a lot, but this wasn't. It was right across the street, and it was pure, big, thick thing of electricity that went, and it was just like, whoa, man, like fireworks. But it was from the universe, dude, and it was my dad. Whether it was the universe signifying for my dad or whatever the fuck it was, man, it was for a reason, and it was there, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. So whatever, and when we were there, then this day, she said, so I talked to the people at the phone, Joey, and I can't give you the phone number because she wanted to save a buck, because if she kept the phone number, she would have had to pay the whole bill of my dad's bill. But she didn't want to pay the bill, so she didn't care how significant or what it meant to me to have my dad's phone number. But what she did do, which was unbelievable, which I'm so grateful for, and it's the only thing she did I was grateful for, was she said, you know what, I can't give you the number because I'll have to pay the bill, and then so I'm just going to get rid of the number, but I'll give you the phone. And I knew that I could phone Telus, and I knew I could talk to them and tell them my story and get them to give me the number. So I was like, yeah, no problem, man. So she gave me the phone. I said, yes, can I have the phone? She said, no, you can. I gotta get some things off the phone, Joey, but I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you in a couple days. I said, okay. A couple days went on for a month. She held this phone over my head until I did exactly what she wanted at that service, and I didn't tell anybody the truth of what she did to my dad on his dying days and what she did my whole life. And she held this phone until we had my dad's service when her mom and her mom and sister was there, and whatever. When her mom and sister got there, I went over, and it was beautiful. I couldn't believe it. It was great. It was totally awesome. And then when Linda got home, it was gross. It was so. And when I got there, her sister was like, "Oh, Joey, you were such a bad kid. You always give Linda a hard time, and you were such an awful kid." But see, the thing is, she didn't know the truth. She only knew Linda's version of it, which took everything she really did and made herself seem like this fucking angel and made me seem like the devil, when really it was the other way around. Her killing the whole family and not putting. That's how it's always been. But anyway, so, and then right after she said this to me, she said, like literally right after she said, "You were such a bad kid," and she said, "Oh, I just want to apologize to you because one day when I was living with you for 2 years for free under your grandpa's roof, when I wasn't allowed to bring even store pictures in my grandpa's house without her fucking making my dad fucking turn me down because she had this clutches on thing. But her family could live there rent free and fucking whatever." So anyway, she's like, "I just want to apologize for you. I remember coming home one day, and I never ate anything in that house, man. I was starving in the house, starving malnutrition, and I grew up, I was skinny my whole life, and I was picky eater, yeah, because all we ate was shit I didn't fucking like. Shit that she liked that I didn't like, man. I didn't like seafood. Dude, it was just crazy, man. Let me get into my story. But, so, she had a pound of bacon, and I don't even remember this, but she was like, "Yeah, I came home, and I just bought a pound of bacon, and you ate the whole thing. And I was so mad at you, and I fucking got so mad at you, and I let you have it. And I just want to apologize for you. I just want to apologize because of that. You know, who was I? I'm living in your house for free. I'm not paying anything, and I'm going to complain about a pound of bacon that you ate? I'm sorry. I should have had more than that." And then I'm thinking, my house, it's never been my house. It's always been your sister's house, and now it's legitly your sister's house. So, and the day that I got back from my dad's dying, she's like, "Oh, yeah, like, all she wanted to do when my dad was alive was take my dad away from us and go live with her family. Now my dad died. She's like, oh, and this also she said, yeah, you don't know how many times I sat here and watched your dad talk to you on the phone and listen to you guys fight, and then as soon as you hung up, he went straight to the liquor store and got booze, when it was the other way around. He always drank because he fucking his shoulder, but mostly because he didn't want to listen to her fucking bitching. He always drove her and drank. So anyway, I was like, "What are you talking about, Linda? The only thing me and my dad ever fucking fought about was you. And what do you think that I don't remember fucking growing up with you bunch of alcoholic fighting fucking," and I just hate the way she pulls it off. And so anyway, so there was that, and I got so much. And there was one time too, like my stepmother took my dad away from my sister. She took my mom away, all the pictures away from my mom back in the late 80s, and we couldn't even talk about my mom without her fucking bitching and complaining. My dad just was like she was like a sergeant. My dad just listened. But anyway, so my sister's like, and I know my stepmom took my dad away from my sister all the time. So now my dad's dead and can't stick up for himself, and fucking she says, "Oh, Tammy, I always wanted your dad to invite you over, but I never wanted to invite you over." And she's switching it. Dude, as soon as my sister would walk in the house, she got up and stomped out like a fucking ignorant little fucking cunt. Okay, anyway, so that's that. I'm getting lost here, but I'm going to keep going a couple more minutes, and this is the last one. I'm out. I go to work. But anyway, so I don't even fucking know what I was talking about. But so the day we went up and I saw that shit, I went back and I was trying to explain. She gave me the phone. I ended up phoning Telus, I got them to give me the phone number, and I got it. I was so grateful for that. Anyway, and then she started sleeping with my dad's drug dealing boyfriend, and dude, they were sending dick pictures back and forth. Like, and this is what I grew up with when I was a little kid. All I heard was her and my dad fucking having sex in the room next to me, and I hated it all night. That's all I heard, and I couldn't get to sleep. And I remember I used to get up. I'd be sleeping, and I hated hearing her. And so I'd get up and I'd grab my dresser. I had a dresser here and a dresser over here. Dresser over here had a clown on it. She used to hate clowns, but she used to always make me sleep with this fucking clown, and I hated it. I'd hide it in my house. She'd find it and put it back, and I'd get grounded if I didn't put it back. So I went in the other dresser that was against their wall. I remember I got up and I fucking threw it right over, and I'd run back in my bed and my dad would come out and fucking, what the fuck? And you see, and I used to think in my head that I can make them think that it was them having sex, that no, it's my fucking dresser across my room. But anyway, this is like, I had so much fucking shit, man. It was just, my whole life, man, it was just fucked up. And like, my stepmother I found like Polaroid pictures of her, like porno fucking pussy, fucking spread, asshole, all these gross pictures, and I found them all, and I hated her so much that I showed all her friends, and all her friends weren't her friends, man. They all hated her. They all seen her real her, and she was just this gross chick, and I used to go out and grab these pictures and blow them up and put them at Mike and Marine's shop and blow up, because nobody knew the real her, and I used to want to expose her for it, but there's just so much, man. There's so much, and I'm just so grateful that I can be in university and recover, and and I shouldn't be. I don't talk about this. Like I said, man, I'm away from drugs, and I'm good. Now I'm spending 151. I got love, and whenever I talk about this stuff, I just fall back into it. Whenever I talk about the police, I fall back into this negativity stuff, and I'm trying real bad to love the police, and some stuff happened that was just, my whole life I've been guided to things to make me grow, and I just know, man, through my program and the teachings of Wayne Dyer and Louise Hay, man, I'm coming down, and university's going to happen. It's going to happen for everybody, starting with me first, and I'm rehabilitating myself in every way. So grateful. You know, like, I know that I've been swearing a storm up, and my intent was not to swear, but I feel like I got to do it to just, like, be comfortable enough to roll with the flow, man. And I try and write letters. I just sent this person for this show that wanted me to be on the show. I thought I was doing. I sent him all this stuff, and then when I reread it, it was all horrible, and I was like, man, I'm going to scare these people away with messages that are too long, and I don't know what to do and what to say. So I know that swearing is negative and not what I want to throw down, but at least I did it, man. I got 4 of these half-hour videos, and it's saying what I want to say, and it's only 1/10 of what I got, man. It's unreal, and I love so much, man. I have so much love in my heart, and the main thing is my university. I'm spending 151, dropping my ego, getting rid of my ego. I'm working on it every day, man. University is right here, man. It's 25 years in experience in jail and recovery, everything that works combined in the university, man. And I'm doing it. Year clean and sober, and I got so much love in my heart, man. And I'm dropping my ego and dropping the hate, and I love everything. I love you. Thank you for watching. Peace.